channel. I'm Kimberly and this is Booking with the KDB. If you're new here, welcome to the dark side. If you are interested in fantasy and romance, book recommendations, reviews, and my general ramblings and thoughts on these books, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you do not miss a video. Alright, if you are returning, thanks for supporting me. I appreciate it greatly. Alright, so today we will be talking about my foray into fantasy romance reads. So it has been a minute since I've read a fantasy romance novel. So long that I can't even remember the last one I read. Yeah. So this past week I read From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I also read A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Now, From Blood and Ash is a book that I wanted to read from last year because it did win the Goodreads Choice Award, so I was definitely interested in reading it. And it has been on my TBR for a while. I started reading it probably back in January, or more in February thereabout, but I could not really get into it. But then I was on booktube exploring reading, and I saw some pretty good reviews and commentaries about the book and about the series, so I decided to dive back in and give it another try, which I did, and I am so thankful. So happy that I did, because I really enjoyed From Blood and Ash. I enjoyed it so much, like, yo, mind blown. I love Poppy. So just to give a quick synopsis, so From Blood and Ash is a fantasy romance, as I said. It is about Poppy, who is a maiden who has grown up sheltered, and she is supposed to be ascended and given to the gods. But she is not okay with her life because she's very sheltered and she's not allowed to do certain things. She's not allowed to interact with anybody. She's not allowed to see anybody or speak to anybody. She has to wear a veil at all times, and she is very discontent with her lot in life. So as a result of that, she finds little ways of rebelling against the rules and structures that have been put in place or set forth for her. Now, next we have Hawk, who is the royal guard. So something happens and he becomes her royal guard. He is apparently the youngest royal guard to ever, and he's hot. Dude is hot, but dude's an ass. So along the book develops, and you see where Poppy is faced with different trials or different situations that forces her to either remain in the shell or the mold that they have placed her in from the time she was a child, or will she break free and take control of her own destiny thing. It's a really good, as I said, I really loved it. I love the development of the book. At the start, it was slow. It was pretty slow with the world building and setting everything up and putting everything together in a neat, tidy package. I think Jennifer L. Armentrout really focused on just giving us information about the world, about the setting, about how everything comes together, and then it doesn't really pick up until probably about 30% in. So once you can just push through and get to that 30% mark, trust me, you're going to love it going forward. From there, the story just begins to unfold. You're sitting there and it's a crazy journey, crazy ride, and there is a lot of revelations and plot twists that I think were worked into the story so perfectly and seamlessly till there were points when you're like, no, that's what she's doing. Is that what she's doing? And it was done so well, so seamlessly, and it was just a great read for me. I really enjoyed it, and as you can see, I can't stop talking about it. So yes, I really enjoyed it. So Poppy, for me, Poppy is a badass, and I love her, and I love it. I love the fact that though she grew up sheltered and she was a maiden, she was not going to sit back and lie down, and she was not willing to just go with the status quo or go with the flow. Sis is a revolutionary. Sis is, she is her own person, and she gonna do what she gonna do. So yeah, I love that for her. I love that for me. Yeah, so I really love that. Hawk now Hawk, as I said, he was her royal guard. Like, Hawk is this, like, Hawk just doesn't care. Like, he was willing to step up and to defend her when others weren't, even those who loved her and wanted the best for her and wanted to protect her. They had to bow or step back in the face of the ruling, in the face of those who were governing them. They had to step back and allow certain, and to just stand by while Poppy was either hurt or disrespected. But Hawk was not going to allow that to happen, and he said hell no, and he was not afraid to step up and defend her. Consequences be damned, and I'm here for it. I am here for it. I love a man who can say, so what if you're going to chop off my head? So what if you're going to chop off my hands? I'm not going to sit by and allow injustice to happen. Love that. So yeah, and I really love them together. I think their relationship, the way it develops and melds together was so well. Although Hawk was Hawk, I wanted to shake him. I wanted to beat him. I wanted to fight him. I was not okay with how he went about certain things, but I understood why he did what he did, or the necessity for it. I was not okay with how he went about it, or how misleading he was. But besides that, I really enjoyed the book, enjoyed it completely, enjoyed it immensely. Cannot wait to read A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, which I ordered, and I'm waiting for it to arrive. So yeah, next, because I was on a high after reading From Blood and Ash, I decided to go and read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I didn't love it. I definitely didn't love it as much as I loved From Blood and Ash. But I didn't hate it though. And I think that's what's important. I didn't hate it. And because I didn't hate it, I'm definitely going to read A Court of Mist and Fury and continue the series. But my takeaways. So the synopsis. Farah is a mortal who, she is the youngest of her family, yes, but she's the one that takes care of them. She does so by hunting, and one day she was hunting and she saw her prey, but her prey was being stalked by a wolf, and she decided to kill the wolf. The wolf turned out to be a fairy, and there were consequences for that. So as a result, she had two options. She was either supposed to go and live with the fairies, or she would die. She chose to go and live with the fairies, where she resided at the High Lord of the High Lord of Springs home, who is Tamlin. And there she realized that something was wrong with the fairy kingdom, wherein there was a blight or sickness that was taking over the place, and as a result, their world was in danger, and the possibility existed that it could spill over into the mortal world. As I said, I didn't love it, but I liked it. I particularly enjoyed the ending. That was probably my favorite part. How it ended, or the leading up to how it ended, because majority of the book I was very annoyed with Farah. She is one of the most stubborn persons I have ever met. Like, she's one of the most stubborn heroines I've ever read about, ever met. Like, if you want her to do something, tell her not to do it. Just tell her don't do it, and that's when she will go and do it. But if you tell her not to do something, I can guarantee you 10 out of 10, 100%, she's going to get up and do exactly what you told her not to do. Consequences be damned. So yeah, Farah annoyed me. She pissed me off. Want to hit her. Tamlin was meh. For me, when I went into the book, because of course I read reviews, I saw it all over booktube. I read Reading with Cindy's reviews of the books. So I knew that Tamlin, he is not the love interest in the remaining books. So I was like, why the heck is this happening? Why give us a book about her and Tamlin when they're not the main love interest going forward? But I get it. And I get why. I get it. I get why Rhysand is the main love interest. He was far more interesting to me than Tamlin. I was more invested in Farah and Rhysand's developing relationship and how it was going to go. I fell in love with Rhysand and not Tamlin. Rhysand is the Tamlin who? But yeah, I definitely get it. But what? Well, I guess when I read A Court of Mist and Fury, I can give my thoughts about that, because I'm not sure of how exactly the relationship between Farah and Tamlin dissolved. I just know that there is some elements of abuse, or suspect that there was some elements of abuse. So when I read it, I can give my thoughts about it to see if how I feel matches up with how it was done in the book. But yeah, definitely interested in going ahead to read A Court of Mist and Fury. Definitely want to see Farah and Rhysand's relationship develop and grow, because I'm invested in that couple. Yeah. But as I said, I didn't love it. I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars, particularly because of the ending of the book. Particular about the climax of the book, and as well as the development of Rhysand and Farah's relationship. From Blood and Ash, definitely gave it 5 stars, because yes, that was some nice, hot, piping fantasy romance. That's what I came here for. Some good shit. And that's what I got. So 5 stars for From Blood and Ash. And yeah, I guess that brings us to the end of the video. If you have read any of these books, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about these books. If you have made it to the end of this book, I want you to go ahead and comment in the comment section with a dagger, signifying, you know, From Blood and Ash. Yeah. So thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate your support. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Booking with the KDB. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. Peace.